Now, how do you feel about the current officiating and when it's a blatant move to help Vegas? Like, before you talked about...
You're talking to a guy with a gambling addiction, so...
But like, what was this? I think it was the past week or maybe a couple weeks ago when Kansas City, there's some obvious calls and they let them,
I think, number one, there's conspiracy theorists out there that are going to think, oh, it was. Number two, you think about it, like the Colorado, when they played TCU. Mm-hmm. People didn't think it would go that way. They didn't think the USC would get. So there's probably truth in it. I don't think that the referees or anybody's doing it that way. I have friends that say, oh, the NBA is controlling, the referees, football. It's kind of like Patrick Mahomes when he made that run at the end of the game and he went down. How many people lost a shitload of money?
Yeah.
I look at it this way. If Vegas wants to take your money, they deserve to lose your money. But there are times where you look at it and you're just like, wow. But, you have so many instant replays nowadays, it's hard not to get what the reality of it is. But I also think that if, like, there's a umpire in baseball called Hernandez. Mm-hmm. Everybody hates the guy, Angel Hernandez. He called Bryce Harper out on it wasn't even a check swing. Nothing, everybody. And Bryce Harper went at him, blah, 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 this is that. And it was really cool because he threw his hat or his helmet in the stands. This kid got it. I mean, that was the best part. But this guy's still refereeing. So there are legitimate concerns because it's all about money.
Yeah.
There's a referee in the NBA years ago that got fined and went to prison.
There's a documentary, isn't it?
Yeah, because, he took it. So, there are people, like there's another referee who'd been around for years in the NBA. Last year, they took him out of the finals, I believe, because he had a burner phone or tweet or something. He was making comments about things. I'm not sure exactly what it is. But it's human behavior. And then you have this when you come to sports. You have people thinking, well, I'm worth more money, so how can I get more money? I can throw games. Or I can, I can be out on the injured list. So I'm amazed at people who don't think that this is happening. But there needs to be a better way. Like even in UFC, people were like, well, Conor McGregor threw the fight against the guy that he broke his leg. He broke his leg. He didn't do it on purpose, people. It's kind of like Jake Paul and his brother who fight. Millions of dollars these young kids have made. And they deserve it. You want to go up there and make yourself look whatever way. You want to play a game because it's a social media game as well. And it's the more people that come to you, the more it's going to be. The NFL is the biggest business in the world. But who knows the truth?
Yeah, I feel like
you
there's
know
gotta be
this. You
something
know this.
there, yeah.
Athletes recently have been caught betting. Like you have the kid. I don't want to say the wrong person, but he came back to Atlanta. You have another kid that bet $1,500. He had to sit out a whole season, but he didn't bet on his sport. But you're not supposed to bet.
Yeah.
Look at a coach this year in football who got caught betting. So there's all kinds of different ways out there. And nowadays you can bet during games. Is he going to make a pass? Is he going to catch it? You can. And so if you're that crazy, I could do it, but the fact is I don't know how to do it. So it's good for me not to figure that out. But no, I think that that's something that has to be looked at. And if it's proven, there should be criminal act because, as you and I both know, it moves a line to where there's millions. It affects millions of people. It don't only affect people who bet. It affects outcomes of possible championships, higher ranking, bowl games, so much of that. Yeah, but now they all deserve to rot in hell if they fuck me over. But
yeah. I mean, some might say it's in the National Fix-It League, but
well, think about it. You have unions. Remember, in the past when you had the unions run by unscrupulous people, which I'm sure they still run them at certain points. Boy, that almost burnt the shit out of myself. I guess hot breath. Anyhow,
maybe because you said you said scrupulous.
That felt good. But so the unions were corrupt. Now you think about this. Most sports have unions. They're to defend the individual. So the unions fight for something, and the owners fight for something. So who wins? Somebody wins. Somebody not sports, but you have the actors strike right now. They were almost thinking they were going to get it done, and today, boom, and then somebody stipulated that the studios lied 60%. Well, how the fuck do you get 60%? No one knows. That's kind of like saying, did you eat your whole meal? I had 90%, or it's 80% of this. Unless it's quantifiable, you don't know. But sports, the betting aspect of it, it's It's huge.
Yeah.
Look at somebody won the $1 billion lotto somewhere here in California. Wow. How many people spent money on that? That's how it got to be 1.7 billion. So, from someone who likes to gamble but shouldn't, if someone's screwing me over, I want to make sure they get in trouble. I want a legitimate game.
Yeah.